Moving on to the ventilation section, the first thing to select is the number of distinct ventilation zones in the dwelling. Rooms that share the same ventilation system constitutes a zone. For each ventilation zone, you will identify the number of stories, number of external facades, and how many of these facades are sheltered from the wind, along with the ventilation type for that zone. The number of stories is pretty self-explanatory and helps the calculator calculate the heat loss through infiltration for that specific zone. The number of shelter sides is taken from the SAP methodology and the facades of the building that are protected from the wind by things such as trees, buildings, tree height hedges that are adjacent to the building. Also remember that an attached dwelling will obviously have a party wall and will always be considered sheltered on that attached side. If you look at SAP, it will tell you a side is considered sheltered if it is effectively obstructed from the wind with all of the following applying. The obstacle providing the shelter is at least as high as the ceiling of the uppermost story of the dwelling. The distance between the obstacle and the dwelling is less than 5 times the height of the obstacle and the width of the obstacle, or the combined width of several obstacles, is such that it subtends to an angle of at least 60 degrees within the central 90 degrees when viewed from the middle of the wall of the dwelling that faces the obstacle. Finally, in each zone, you must select the ventilation type for that zone. Natural ventilation will be selected if you do not have a full mechanical system in place. So if you have individual ventilation devices, such as extractor fans on pull cords or humidity sensors in individual rooms like a bathroom or kitchen, for example, or air bricks, you'd select natural ventilation. If you have a mechanical system installed in that zone, you can select either mechanical extract ventilation, MEV, mechanical ventilation, MV, mechanical ventilation with heat recovery, so that is MVHR, or positive input ventilation, PIV. If you do select mechanical ventilation with heat recovery, you are required to enter the percentage of heat recovery in the box. Usually this is something that will be supplied by the manufacturer. The data for the supply and extract flow rates are taken from SAP and converted into an airflow volume based on the total internal air volume of that ventilation zone.